It's real sometimes. I only have you to blame.
Hello my fellow Wastelanders, I am more to me for life and we are back with Fallout 4 Challenge Builds. Now, last episode I actually finally let you know what we were building. And, well, it's a courtesan club, a brothel, a town of ill repute, if you will. I will be going into first person because the build is complete, ladies and gentlemen. I have actually been binge building for the last 24 hours to try and get this complete because my new schedule that is coming out on Wednesday dictates that this video needs to go up today. And I actually had Tigers go over the build for me, so hopefully nothing is floating and nothing got left out. Even though I did do a lot of binge building. Let me go ahead and turn this on because there's a couple of areas that are a little bit shady. Here's our travelers, and I decided to change out this little protectron that was over here that looked like the head was smashed in to using the little pony here. It seemed like it was too obvious. That's the reason why I didn't go for it first, but now that I put it here, it just looks right. It feels very Western now. And here we are at the security guard shack. Lots of doodads for them to work on while they're wasting away their lives, staring out of windows, and the occasional times when they're fighting for their lives. And that is the guard area. And let's go around. A couple of posters up on the wall that looks like that was messed up. The guard dogs area. This area out back to help out with the controlling of bad guys off this side. And I will do a flyby cam after I get finished showing you the whole build. I normally like to do this in third person, but for the final build I like going in first person so I can show all of the details. We've got all of this wall, we've got some built-in well, not built-in, but textured in warehousing bits, some things hanging on it. Our little water thing here with some water jugs. And just a couple of things, shipments that possibly came in for various things. And we've got both of our soda machines for passerbyers. Looks like someone is trying to recycle some milk jars. My brain's not functioning. I can't remember words. What are words? Okay, and this is the other entrance. I decided to keep those over there. They just seem like they were a great advertisement, and that large wall just seemed like it should have had, if it was here before the war, it should have had posters on it to begin with anyway. And let's go on up. And this time, yes, I do have the electricity. I was watching another build, and I realized that on top of just not putting any kind of lamps or anything in, I was saving on FPS, but I was kind of losing out on some of the aesthetics of having the lamps. So I put lamps in this time. There is actually electricity running all over this place. And since we are talking about that, I'll go ahead and show you as soon as I get back inside the build limit. There we go. Size bar. If you look there, it's in the yellow. Now that is times 10, the normal size build limit. So that should tell you how much there is here. There is a bunch, and I was really, really pushing it. Wonderful little walkway, some advertisements. The diner is finally complete. And sadly, since my charisma is not high enough because I am too low level, the only diners right now are some gnomes that are just sitting here. Thankfully, I didn't have to go collect gnomes. It was just a matter of having the ceramic, which in and of itself was a pain. And then we've got our ability to make our own Nuka-Cola. And, noodles please, noodles! No English. Okay. Let's go around back here and show you his kitchen. It's a tiny, tiny, tiny little kitchen. I'm not even sure how it is he moves around here. In my imagination, all he does is serve up the food right here at the counter. And one of the other people here actually makes the food. I don't think he actually works behind the counter. And here we are fixing to go behind the curtain. This is where you are weeded out on whether or not it is appropriate for you to go behind the curtain. This requires a password. I have been asked, what is the password? Well, I don't really know, but I'm going to sneak back here anyway. Apples. I'm going to go with apples. Nope, cherries, cherries. We're going to go with cherries. Okay. That is the password. Now, I've done a lot of texturing up to this place. It just seemed like it needed more than the plain walls. And I do like the way it looked. I did it first behind the stage to try and barrier up some of the stuff. And I liked it so much I wound up running through the entire settlement placing these things. And no, sadly, I do not have anybody who is even remotely posed enough to be doing this. So I think this is like a freeze frame in the middle of a trick type of thing. Yeah, that's about as close as I can get. Nobody else was doing such a weird pose. But apparently, everybody loves it. Loves it. And for copyright reasons, the jukebox is not playing, though there is a jukebox here. And, let's see. I will do some night shots as part of the exiting of the video. I won't actually do a walkthrough because while there is lighting, I don't have like brighter settlements or anything else like that because that eats up my FPS. So there are a lot of dark spots, and while you'd be able to enjoy the spots where I put the lighting, you wouldn't be able to really see much else. And this area is relatively clean and clear, occasional bottle every now and then. We still have our caravan area set here. So far, no caravanners have managed to make it here. As a matter of fact, this settlement confuses the hell out of the two people who are living here. I might actually put that blooper at the end because I caught them falling in the diner. They both stood up from the tables where they were sitting and just fell on the floor like they had fallen 5,000 feet. It was so funny. Alright, and I haven't done anything extra to the guard shack, but I will go up there in case somebody has missed that video. As this is not actually part of the challenge, I didn't feel the need to completely fill it out. I mean, there is a little bit of decoration. I mean, they're guards. They're not going to have a whole lot in here anyway. So, you know, save the decoration for the area that needs it. And I did decide to keep the pool up top. While this area is decorated, there is a glitch. If you put a pool above a building, you can swim in your building. That's pretty much how that works. So that's off limits. I chose to keep the pool rather than taking it back out so that I could salvage that building. I just felt like it was a little more important. Alright, and let us go in. Some wonderful pictures. I really like that picture. So much like that picture. For some reason, I don't think it's the Vault Dweller, the Wastelander, whatever you want to call your character. I don't think that's him. It looks like Nick Valentine walking through the streets. I love the way that looks. And then we've got the check-in area where we make sure you have the currency to be back here for more personal attention, I guess you could say. And it does offer some great views of the countryside. If you watch it at night, there's like a big ass fire over there from an alien. Great stuff. Great stuff. And we've got our chiropractor here, massaging. And, you know, a couple of other things. I'm not sure what the feather duster is doing in here. I can think of a few things. And I got this idea from my sister. In case you have a foodie, you know, in case you want to use the icing or, you know, whatever. I think that's probably about as close as I can get to saying what all that stuff is for. Use your imagination. It's like being intimate buffet style. Okay, let's go out here real quick. And this is just kind of a lounge area for those who are looking for the chemical side of life. Lots of custom-made meds in this area. All down in here, of course, we've got our psycho, because, well, she becomes a psycho mistress, and of course there's some jet. You gotta start somewhere. And definitely some buff out and everything. Who doesn't need that when you come to an inn of ill repute? And let's continue on. Nice long, calming hallways. Not really. The red's kind of, well, not really calming in my opinion. But I do like it. I do like it a lot. And here is the bathhouse. For those that like to bathe, to be bathed, to, you know, I'm not going to get into this particular fetish because I don't understand it. So I'm just going to show you that they are there and it does accommodate. I don't get it. So there's that. There's that. Not my cup of tea. Okay, and here we go to, this is where we make our perfumes and our chems, custom made right here. Some wonderful, crazy-ass art on the wall, like maybe they got high on their own stuff and decided to throw some paint up on the wall. I'm not sure what happened there. And here we get our purified water for making all of our own chems. Definitely got to start out with some purified water. You start out with the radiated water, some bad side effects can happen. So a definite need there. Oh, I got stuck on the door. That's not cool. Alright, let's keep going this way. We are back at the entrance, so I'm going off to the right now. And we've got a wonderful lounging area, so you can sit here and listen to someone sing. Or whatever is scheduled for the day. Who knows? You know, you could always put in special requests at the desk. And more wonderful lounging area. This particular area is specifically for a set of tastes. And I think most of you would probably recognize the teacher slash librarian slash principal type of thing. I mean, there's even chairs here for you to wait and get nervous. Too bad I don't have a ruler, though. That would be awesome. Should have just used a cutting board. That would have worked. But I used a cutting board elsewhere, so I didn't want to use it again. Alright, and we are up here to the upstairs lounge area. Now, these particular areas are going to be where basically you sit around and you talk, you get to know each other, you know, for the lonely folks. While men like to typically get down to business, there are some that like to talk because they're just lonely over the road. They need a counselor of sorts. And of course, ladies tend to be the more talkative type, so when they come in here, they want a place to sit and talk. And our wonderful stair to a plant. That's pretty much the only thing up there. I just like the fact that there's a never-ending staircase. Don't ask me why. I don't really know. And the long-awaited full unveiling of our, well, I'm not really sure what to call this, but I absolutely love this space, and I'm fixing to have to go rest so you can actually view it properly. I don't know. The lighting is okay. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. It's not too dark just yet. But it's a wonderful outdoor area where everybody can sit and enjoy themselves, and nobody bats an eye if, you know, something happens here on a sofa or whatever. Everybody is consenting here, obviously, otherwise you would not have known the password to begin with. And then we've got our little pool area. Lounge in here, lay down, cool off. You know, I can think of a lot of things to do in this pool. Especially right now. It's a little warm. Alright, and let's go back over here. We got this wonderful little fence gate. I don't actually show off a whole lot of my doors. I just leave them open and then run through the walkthrough, but I do happen to like these doors for this particular section. because this is where the more risque of the appetites go. And got some wonderful images on the wall. I don't know who did the artwork for these, but I think they're absolutely beautiful. And there is one lamp way up there, but it doesn't light up, and I refuse to put another conduit way up there. But I do like the fact that it is open. We got another little bartender back here. You know, in case their particular style is public humility or public spankings, whichever one that one is, I don't know. And we got this area just to sit and relax and enjoy. And I did wind up taking those little green plasma things out of there. They just didn't seem to sit right, and the wind was never blowing properly. So just some things that just had to come out. This area finally got fleshed out, and I absolutely love it. This is what I was talking about when I said the cutting board. It's actually a paddle here a couple of places. But, yeah, definitely for a particular taste. And these things are fully functional, though, since I don't have, like, the proper stuff, and I really don't have the room in the build to actually display those properly, I decided to just leave them sitting there. They are available when needed. And you got some more down here. And this is the larger suite. This is probably the most expensive suite, actually. We've got the large table for whatever is needed. Now, these particular tables are obviously very hard tables, which means they're very sturdy tables. They're reinforced in case any extra weight is put on them. And this is definitely the fantasy room. She spends a lot of time in here. I'm not ratting you out, it's just true. And we have this area as well. And there's a lot of, we got the cutting board in here and the handcuffs and all of that. So this is kind of more of a private session rather than the one that's out front. Alright, and let us... it's going to get dark on me. I'm probably going to have to rest and then go into the full... Yeah. I'm going to have to do it. Well, let me jump over here. Alright, folks, and I am back through the wonderful magic of editing. We are back in the daylight. Now, what I'm going to do is turn it on, toggling collision, and then we are going to toggle fly cam. It just tends to run smoother. And let's go up and get a bird's eye view of this thing. Let me see if I can not make everybody sick doing this. I should never fly an airplane. Why is it going to get foggy on me? Do not get foggy on me. Anyway, we've got plants everywhere. We've got lamps lighting up the whole place. Though, sadly, since I do not have the mod that allows it to go really brilliant in a settlement, I don't really want to show a night view for that. Though I will give you some clips of some areas that are well lit. I think it would just be... You would get bored looking at all the dark and the dark and the dark, and then it would be light, and then it'd be like, ah, cool, and then it'd be like dark again. So not really worth that. I am so excited with how this turned out. I don't know what it is about these little fence pieces. I found them while looking for something else, and then I just had to go around and throw them everywhere. Nope, let me back up out of this tree. And yes, I did eventually go back and finish all of the roofing. Yay! And that is the whole settlement. I have very much enjoyed doing this. It was kind of difficult trying to come up with things that I could think of that could actually be built in a Fallout universe. I could think of so many more things that could actually go into a place like this that I just don't have the stuff to build it with. Or at least not a decent substitution. So, just gonna have to go with what I got, I guess. And that is it. I really appreciate having more challenges. This has been so much fun working on. If you have got a challenge that you would like me to try, or even a town that you would like me to build in, even if you don't have an idea of what you want built in there, just let me know down in the comment section. I am looking for another challenge. I do have one lined up. It's actually a series of builds, but I'm going to start with the first one. I think the first one is probably going to be I think it's probably going to have to be on Spectacle Island. It's the only one big enough that's going to hold what I'm going to try and do. But that one is probably going to be one of those that I tinker with whenever I can type of builds. These kind of builds, it's like 4 or 5 sessions. I can pretty much have it built as long as I'm building all day or binge building like I normally do. The other one is kind of like an in honor of type of build. So I want to try and resize pieces, tilt pieces, which is not something I'm very good at doing fast. So I will take my time on that and try to do it justice. I'm not sure how it's going to turn out. I don't even know how I'm going to do it. But in the meantime, to keep me uploading videos, I need more challenges, folks. I love more challenges. Even if it's just like a piece of a challenge, maybe a particular build and a piece of it that you want to see in a build. I would love to hear your comments. So that's pretty much it. I hope you all have enjoyed this bit of, I guess, probably learning a side of me that not a whole lot of people know, and probably not a whole lot of people wanted to know. So y'all have a wonderful day, a wonderful night, and a wonderful 5 o'clock somewhere.